And now back to the shooting in Washington, D.C. Police are identifying the alleged gunman, 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez from Chicago.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is speaking out now this morning, saying he is increasing security at Israeli missions around the world. Here's CBS News' Naomi Ruckham with the latest.
Last night, a tragic and shocking event took place in Washington, D.C., the capital city of the United States. A young couple who were staff members of the Israeli embassy were shot and killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum. This attack has caused deep sadness not only in Washington but also around the world. In this video, we will share the full story, important facts, and what this incident means for communities everywhere. The scene of the attack. It was a quiet evening on the 3rd and F Street Northwest near the Capitol Jewish Museum, where many people had gathered for a cultural event. This event was organized by the American Jewish Committee, an important group that promotes Jewish culture and supports community relations. The couple, a young man and woman, had just left the event. They were not only colleagues but also in love and planning to get married soon. In fact, the young man had recently bought an engagement ring for his girlfriend. This moment was supposed to be one of joy and celebration in their lives. What happened? Suddenly, a man appeared outside the museum. Police later identified him as Elias Rodriguez, a 30-year-old man from Chicago. Witnesses said that he was walking back and forth nervously near the museum before the attack. Without warning, Rodriguez pulled out a handgun and started shooting. According to witnesses, there were between 10 to 15 gunshots. People around the museum were shocked and frightened. Many quickly ran for safety while emergency services were called. Tragically, the young couple was hit by the gunfire. Despite immediate medical help, both died at the scene. The attacker did not run away. Instead, he shouted "Free Palestine" loudly while police arrested him. Authorities recovered the weapon and detained him without further violence. The victims. The couple, whose names have been released as Yuran and Sarah, were dedicated diplomats working at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Their lives were full of hope, dreams, and service. Friends and colleagues described them as kind, hardworking, and loving. Their planned engagement was a symbol of their commitment to each other. The ring the young man bought was meant to be given soon, marking a new chapter in their lives. Instead, their future was cut short by this senseless act of violence. The suspect in investigation. Elias Rodriguez, the suspect, has no known previous connection to the victims. Police are investigating his background to understand his motives better. His repeated shouting of "Free Palestine" suggests the attack was motivated by political hatred and anti-Semitism. The Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI are leading the investigation. They have called this a hate crime and are working hard to find out if Rodriguez had any help or planned the attack in advance. The immediate response. Following the shooting, Washington, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke out strongly against the violence. She assured the public that authorities were doing everything possible to keep the city safe. Security around Jewish institutions, including synagogues, community centers, and diplomatic buildings, was increased immediately. This includes the Israeli embassy itself, which heightened its security measures worldwide. International leaders also reacted. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed his shock and sorrow, stating that Israel would continue to protect its people and diplomats. The U.S. president condemned the attack, emphasizing that hatred and extremism have no place in America. Understanding the larger context. This shooting did not happen in isolation. It came during a time of heightened tension in the Middle East, especially related to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestinian groups in the Gaza Strip. Increased Israeli military operations and frequent protests worldwide have created an environment where political anger sometimes turns into violence. Unfortunately, anti-Semitic attacks have been rising in many parts of the world. The shooting is a tragic example of how global political conflicts can affect local communities far away. The impact on communities. The attack has deeply affected the Jewish community in Washington, D.C. and across the United States. Many people feel unsafe and worried about their security. Community leaders are urging calm and unity. They call for stronger laws and better enforcement to prevent hate crimes. This event has also sparked discussions about how to balance security with community openness and how to combat hate speech and extremist ideologies. The role of diplomats and their safety. Diplomatic staff members often face unique risks. Representing their country abroad can put them in difficult and sometimes dangerous situations. This attack shows the challenges diplomats face even in countries considered safe. Protecting diplomats is crucial for international relations and peace. Governments worldwide are reviewing their security protocols to avoid similar tragedies in the future. The human story behind the headlines. Beyond politics and investigations, this is a human tragedy. The couple's family, friends, and co-workers are grieving a great loss. Their story reminds us that behind every news headline are real people with dreams, love, and families. Sharing their story helps humanize the victims and promotes empathy. What can we learn from this? This tragedy offers important lessons for all of us. Hate and violence have devastating consequences. It is important to stand up against hatred in all its forms. Communities must work together to create environments of respect and understanding. Authorities need to ensure safety for all citizens, especially vulnerable groups. Dialogue and education are key to preventing radicalization. Messages of hope and resilience. Despite this painful event, there is hope. Communities are coming together in support. People of all faiths and backgrounds have condemned the attack and shown solidarity. The couple's story has inspired calls for peace and stronger action against hate crimes. What happens next? The investigation continues. Authorities promise a full and thorough process to bring justice. Security will remain tight around Jewish institutions and diplomatic missions worldwide. Awareness campaigns and educational programs may increase to fight anti-Semitism and hate. Final thoughts. The shooting of the Israeli diplomatic couple in Washington, D.C. is a tragic reminder of the dangers hate can bring into our world. It challenges us all to reflect on our values and actions. Let us honor the memory of the victims by working toward a more peaceful, just, and loving world. Thank you for watching this detailed account. Please like and share this video to raise awareness and promote peace. Subscribe for more updates on important global events.